Kids at desks in rows proves the most common sight in the world of education. However, what if that isn't the only option? Montessori schools can prove highly different from their traditional counterparts, with the main differences being in the environment and differing strengths and weaknesses. As someone studying to become a teacher myself, I believe it is important to analyze different methods of education from outside of the U.S., as collaboration is one of our best tools that is not nearly used enough in many fields. However, education is one of these fields. Montessori schools are a type of school utilizing, according to Elizabeth Lapon of Pierce University. Montessori middle schools seek to provide a learning culture that integrates cognitive development with the socio-emotional well-being of the child. Lapon 2020. This is the goal of the average Montessori school, with a high amount of difference from the traditional counterpart inside the U.S. Montessori schools don't utilize high-stakes testing. Instead, they utilize systematic observation, 3 components of which are knowledge, skills, and effect. Knowledge is content-specific, such as dates, places, people, etc. Skills are the performance of a task. Think a medical student doing injections on a dummy in front of their teacher for a grade. Effect is the way in which the student themselves approaches learning. Instruction and assessment prove inseparable in the Montessori classroom. Block 2015. While this method could work for many age groups, the Montessori method is primarily targeted at young children. Unlike the strict, rigid, high-stakes testing associated with the American school structure traditionally, Montessori is typically child-centered, and the traditional school system is typically teacher-centered. But how are Montessori teachers different? As explained by Sviaviek in 2009, professional identity is a dynamic, complex process of dialectic creation of individual identity and professionalism of a teacher. Jurek, 2023. This shows the meaning of professional identity, helping us understand the professional identity of the Montessori educator in the Czech education system. Maria Montessori's methods and thinking are rooted in their culture and tradition. In Australia's church school network, the alternative school teacher, additionally, according to a study, did not present marked differences regarding the identity of an ordinary school teacher and an alternative school teacher. Jurek, 2023. Despite this, the alternative school teacher showed great emphasis on personal relationships and identity. But how do the children enjoy themselves in the Montessori education system? As engagement or school liking proves crucial for student success in education. However, the traditional school system proves less engaging compared to its Montessori counterpart. Through in both test confidence and interest in schoolwork, the Montessori method is far better for engagement. It is shown that these schools can be associated, however, with lower autonomy in the high school lives of the children involved. Additionally, private schools are also an option for education of students. Some pros and cons of Montessori schools are, in the realm of socialization with friends, Montessori schools do, however, prove inferior compared to the traditional American school system. In the learning aspect, the Montessori system is highly successful, however, compared to the traditional counterpart. Extracurriculars are more abundant in public schools. The teachers are mostly the same. And school isn't a one-size-fits-all situation for every student. Montessori schools are the way to go if that is best for a child, as they prove highly different from their traditional counterparts. These differences include the environment, strengths and weaknesses of these schools, making them non-traditional. Ultimately, the world of education has many methods involved, and those methods prove different from one another, providing differing ways to teach kids new information. Thank you.